All right, I got a new one. One that I have not looked at before. Excuse me. It's a little chilly in the garage. Got my hoodie on. So here's a Pioneer PL570. This I've never worked on one of these before. So this will be exciting. I'm making room for the dust cover over here. So what we have going on with this beast is we have, move this out of the way. We have no auto functions. So stop and start are not working. It also will not shut off. So it won't move to the start point of the record, and it will not return at the end of the record. So we're going to look and see if we can figure out what is going on with that. Now, you know, when the customer contacted me about this, I was intrigued because I have not worked on a 570. And so I agreed to look at it because I thought it'd be something different for the channel. And I did some initial research on this table, and what I found was that the motor, sorry, I need to set up a little bench back here. The motor for these is known to fail, and I believe what the problem typically is a I think this is of the generation of Pioneers where the plastic that they used in these, it was that white nylon plastic, and I think Kenwood used it, and a lot of these manufacturers used it, and it just was not very robust, reliable, and it would, nope, can't do that, and it would crack. It would crack on you after 30 or 40 years. So it's common to find gears that are cracked. Techniques suffer from that issue as well. Some of their auto return functionality. So I'm going to pop the bottom off on this, and what I want to do is I just want to look to see, number one, if there's something, to me it kind of feels like start and stop, that switch is probably bound. Like when I press start and stop, it doesn't seem to be responding. So, could be bound, something could be broken. And then I will look at what might be going on with the motor. So excuse me while I get in the screen here. Again, kind of excited to work on this one. Oh, missed a screw. Whoops. All right. Oh, got some more screws. Got 2 more screws. I believe that this was this is the original owner, and he said this is kind of his baby, so I want to take extra good care of it. Right. So first, I want to look at what's going on with start and stop. Okay, so start and stop is here. This may be a case where I have to flip this over and see what's going on. In fact, that is very likely what I'm going to have to do, because I don't. So let's stop. Nothing is immediately jumping out as an issue, but again, I'm not super familiar with these, so it might just take me a little bit of monkeying around, see what I can see. So let's stop, and that is start. Right. Interesting. Here's the motor that I believe is what's prone to failure. I don't see. Yeah, right. I'm going to flip this. I'm going to put this on some boards, and I'm going to run it through its paces because I want to see what this thing does underneath if I can. I'm not going to be able to catch that on camera at all, so not even going to try, but I will report back what I see and what I have discovered. So I will be back here in a few minutes. All right, I think I ID'd the problem. It actually didn't take me more than probably 2 minutes. So I flipped this over, plugged it in, kind of ran it through its paces, and I could hear a motor running. In fact, it was plugged in, and I got it to shut off. So I could hear and I could feel that the motor was energized. I could feel this pulley was energized. I believe what we have going on is that grease is super, super, super icky on that pulley. So I think this is an issue of nasty grease. Looks like we have grease in a couple of different spots, but I'm going to start by cleaning the grease out of this. And the dogs are right under my feet and they want to wrestle right now, so I'm not sure why that is. So I think what I'm going to do is I'll speed through this, but I am going to get some alcohol down in there, clean that up. I don't really want to disassemble it, but I will if it comes to that. I'm looking for my alcohol. But I think that might actually get this one to a point where it's working. So let's get to cleaning this thing. All right, so I did the initial clean. I'm just, I want to make sure that resolved the issue. I really don't want to break that assembly apart. I think I'm probably going to have to. Hey, what are you guys doing? Sorry, that was my dog barking. They're still learning each other's habits and what they can do and not do to piss each other off. So I don't know what they're over there doing. Doing something. All right, so let's try this. I think that did it though. That should have cleaned that up enough to where the auto functions work. Fingers crossed. This isn't level, but nope, still not moving. So I still got some gunk I got to free up there. And that motor may be shot. The motor may be really, may not have enough torque to actually move this. So I'm going to go up underneath and see if I can influence that wheel to spin. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Yeah, so I just gave it a little. Yeah, so there goes the. I'm pretty sure that's the motor. That motor does not at all sound healthy. All right, but at least we have some promising movement. So what I need to do though is I want to start it again and not shock myself in the process. I want to start it and kind of get it moving about halfway. So like maybe there, I want to pull power. The reason why I want to do that is I want to get that pulley in a different position so I can continue to clean it. And again, I don't want to pull it apart. I will pull it apart if I have to. I also need to let him know he's got a crooked stylus on there. That stylus needs to be replaced. So let me do a little bit more poking around and cleaning. All right, so I'm gonna kind of look just to see what cleaning that up a little bit more did. I haven't lubed anything yet. I haven't committed to disassembling that mechanism yet. I'd have to look at the pull down the service manual, and I gotta clean off my bench. Pulling down the service manual and seeing exactly what's going on. And let me free that up and yeah, that motor's still not wanting to really go on its own. Yeah. I think that motor's failing. Yeah, I think that motor is dying. All right, back to looking at that assembly again, but I'm pretty sure that motor's on its way out. That's a bummer. That motor, I haven't read anything online about people rebuilding it or getting in there and cleaning it or servicing the actual motor, so I'm not sure that that's an option. But we will give it a go and see if there's something we can do. Man, that's gonna be, yeah, I don't know about that motor. I don't know. I'm just looking at, gosh, I'm looking at disassembly for this thing, and that would be a nightmare. And again, I can't tell if that motor would be service friendly or not. Chew on this for a little bit. All right, so I want to show you where we're at. I've applied, and I'm not done with it. It's still a motor problem, but I want to show. I did get it working, so it's just that motor noise is horrible. And then the tone arm will come over. It'll drop in position, roughly in position, and then it'll play on to the end of the record, and then it will return. And then it will make a liar out of me. So as you can see, like it's all, something needs to be aligned in this. But that motor noise is still, that's not good. And I'm sorry, I'm gonna move my mic for a second. Gosh, the way this, I don't know. I'm gonna have to do some research on this and see if servicing that motor is a possibility. Really not looking forward into even attempting that. Man, that's all nasty. And the bad thing is there's no manual setting on this. Like if there was a manual setting, like that would make it easy, but it's just start, stop, and then like, yeah, kind of goofy. So I'm going to keep working on this, and I think what I'm going to continue doing is kind of messing around with the mechanicals underneath and see if I can see anything that will kind of prevent a complete teardown, which I really think is probably what I'm going to have to do on this. I mean, I've only been working on it for 30 minutes, a little bit less than 30 minutes, so I'm not real sure. Don't like how that's sitting at all. Nope, I'm going to put this back on its turntable. Heavy turntables, gotta love them. Gotta love them. Now when I run it upside down, I just want to show you what I was doing. I was kind of exercising it upside down to see what would happen. I applied a little bit of white lithium grease just to see what would happen. I understand it's not ideal, but you can see it starting and stopping. And upside down, the torque is decent, but I think that the motor torque, see, I'm just stopping that. But there the torque is good, and then I can stop it really easily in other positions. Like right there, there's no torque. So that's really leading me to believe that that motor has got some issues. And again, I don't see an easy way. I don't see an easy way to get to that motor. So I'm going to do some more poking and prodding. See if I can come up with a way to get that motor out. And I'm going to have to go do some research as well, just to see if other people have solved this problem. Yeah, that's... Almost looks like you could, yeah, I don't know. Looks tricky. Well, let me explain to you what's going on here. I had to dub over this portion. My son bought me a lavalier mic for Christmas, and for some reason, one of two things was happening. So I would, my default timer to shut the camera off was a minute. So I think sometimes I would walk away and then the camera would shut off, so it would kill the mic, or I was turning the mic off and then I wouldn't turn it back on, which is probably more likely what is happening. I want to blame the camera and the mic, but it's probably my own fault. So anyway, what I'm talking about here is, I believe, the adjustment of the tone arm drop point. So here in a minute, you're going to see me eventually, when I stop doing whatever I'm doing here, talking about that. You're going to see me go through the process of testing the start function a couple of times, and then that little black rubber cap covers the opening right there. Now you'll see that I'm going to hit start, and it's not going to go over where it's supposed to, as far as it's supposed to, and land where it's supposed to. So I'm going to grab a little tiny screwdriver, and then I'm going to go and adjust that. And whether you turn it counterclockwise or clockwise, depending upon the turntable, will move the tone arm in or out. So basically what I'll be doing here over the next minute or so is just adjusting the tone arm, drop point, and then finally wrapping the video up. What I'm probably going to do here at this point, though, because my big fat head's going to be in the way, is I think I'm just going to wrap the video up at this point. I did get the turntable working. The drop point was adjusted. Everything worked just fine on the turntable. As I discussed, I did talk to the owner. We talked about a couple of different options. I recommended that we just kind of stick with the original motor. And then, at a later date, if that motor freaks out, we could pick up a new one. So that's what the owner opted to do. Yeah, I think that's all I'm gonna say about the Pioneer PL570. There was a lot of good footage in here, so I didn't just kill the entire video, but I did figure out that I have to make sure my mic is on before I start recording every single time. So anyway, as always, if you like what you see, like, hit, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video.